And welcome to the 10th episode of Behind the Fleet podcast with It's Just Miss Wells. You guys know you can follow me on Instagram at It's Just Miss Wells. And tonight I've got a very special guest by the name of DJ XXL. Tell these people who you are and where they can find you at on social media.
I am DJ Double XL, West Coast Fleet DJs, Hippie Hop Radio, 88.7 FM, and West Coast Fleet Radio. You can catch me at underscore DJ XXL on the gram. Yeah.
Okay, so we've been thugging for a very long time, but we got to take it all the way back to the beginning so people can understand your journey in the music and entertainment industry. DJ Double XL, talk just a little bit about how you were introduced to the music so people know where this passion came from for you.
All right. Well, in the beginning, I used to, be a break dancer and also graffiti artist. And I started off in the game as a MC from the breaking and all that because it was like all the five elements of hip hop. And I started off with each one of them individually. And the DJ part came from me hearing all of the mixed DJs in the city on my mom's component set in the living room, you know what I'm saying? All of the Friday night shows, the Saturday night shows, all of the mixed shows late night. And I used to make what is called pause tapes. The way you make pause tapes is you let the mixed show play, but when you pause it, it's right on a break or right on something to where if there was a commercial, you take and rewind the tape and you take it out just at the right part so that when the show starts again, you unpause it just at the right time. And it makes like sort of like a timing type of DJ thing to where it's almost like a seamless mixtape without no ads that you basically made right off the radio. Yeah,
Okay,
and that was
old
and that was
school
before
right
I ever
there.
had turntables. Yeah, that was before I ever had turntables.
Okay. So it's ingrained in you. Like
Yeah.
this has been okay. So talk a little bit about when you became a DJ though. Like I know that you were doing the mixtape, you were doing the pause tapes, but
Yeah.
when did it convert to the turntable?
Well, being a break dancer, you know what I'm saying? The only person who we had that was playing the music at that time, as far as hip hop goes, was the DJ. So whoever was playing the music, I was very good close friends with and I built a relationship with, to whereas when I wasn't out there dancing with them, I would be at their own personal situation, playing with their turntables, going through the records and experimenting with the same equipment that they were using to play the music that we was breaking and doing everything to and rapping to. And after a while, it became ingrained in me just because after listening to all of those songs over and over that I danced to, and always listening to them in my regular life throughout experiences, all of the words, all of the cadence, all of the beats became ingrained in my head. So as a DJ, that was one of the skills that if you have that, it makes it easy for you to be able to mix between songs, find a vibe, so on and so forth, and just be able to become a DJ of your own. And we would go to these backyard parties like back in the day, and like people would have like a tape player. They would have like a regular turntable with the 35 and the 45, and they would just have like a record player. And basically, I was doing rocking parties with the tape player, with my pause tapes, and with whatever records that I had on the regular turntable that they would have at the place without even having a mixer. So, you know, so on and so forth. Yeah, I started basically using what I had to be able to be a DJ. And then
Okay.
on the other half, showing up with those popular DJs and getting a second where they say, hey, man, I'm going to go use the bathroom or something. Why don't you keep the mix going and rock the party till I get back? And that's how I first got my first touch of the turntables.
So when you first started, talk a little bit about the type of music that was out at that time, so people can understand what you guys were moving
Um,
to.
at the time, the sound of the culture was Africa Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, Sugar Hill Gang, KRS-One, Tribe Called Quest, Queen Latifah, Moni Love, Def Jeff, Poor Righteous Teacher, NWA. There were just so many different vibes from coast to coast because I listened to music from everywhere. I listened to music from New York, LA, and down south, and Caribbean too, and Puerto Rico because I was raised in a pseudo Latino community because I'm a quarter Puerto Rican. So basically, I was able to have all angles of the game. You know what I'm saying? And when we were listening to those songs would be the ones they was playing at the school dances. They'd be the ones that they was playing at the birthday parties. They would be the ones we playing at the parties. So, you know what I'm saying? When we was a crew, we would just gather up when they started playing in joints and we started rocking it. You know what I'm saying? And we had a crew called Too Much Bass / the Wild Style Brothers. What's cool about that crew is Ice-T out of California, who is actually one of the original, forefathers of gangster rap in LA. He was doing videos at that time, and I had a family member who was a part of the crew who ended up getting my crew into the original gangster video. And in the video, there's all these cats in like black hoodies with like Rottweilers, kind of playing the dance role of the video. And that's actually my crew, Too Much Bass. And I had came really close, with Ice-T and his whole situation. Sometimes I saw him personally, but I've been in his house, the one with the removable ceiling in Hollywood, and the studio, recorded in his studio, and a whole lot. And he and his DJs, Henry G and Eva Lee. Henry G was one of my crew members' cousins. So him being a counterpart of Ice-T's production department, they judged some of our dance competitions. We got really close to the industry, and Ice-T was one of the people that was able to sprinkle that on us early in the game.
Man, like, talk about a impactful career, like, super quick. Like, we haven't even talked about what you're currently doing right now, but
right.
Like, in that moment when it started coming together, talk just a little bit about how it felt when you're in the middle of the peak of this thing where you're with Ice Cube, you're in these nice houses, like your work is Ice. Sorry, but like, talk about how that felt.
It was cool because like us being from from Puerto Rico, and then growing up in the Latin, black community of California, we were some of the popularest dancers in the entire state of California. Too Much Bass, we was known for battling and taking out other crews. When you hear Too Much Bass and we come there and battle you, they make a big circle, they put your members on one side, they put our members on the other side, and we go at it. We even had females called Queens of Soul. They was the female version of Too Much Bass. And when we was coming up, everybody knew us for that, but we also had rappers in our crew. We had graffiti artists in our crew. We had DJs, producers, and we were like doing stage shows, opening up for like Cypress Hill, opening up for Mellow Man Ace, who is Sin Dog from Cypress Hill. His actual biological brother is Mellow Man Ace, who is a Latin rapper who came up really big out of Southgate, California, which is a part of that whole Latin hip hop movement. And basically, he was the first one to come out of our city to really like go crazy with the hip hop game, besides what we knew with Ice-T. And on the other end, we was working like some other shows, working with, some other hip hop artists, like I said, Mellow Man Ace, Cypress Hill. Man, it's an endless list of people. I don't want to just name drop, but I'm saying, these people grew up in my community, and these were people that I knew and that I seen throughout my community. The members of NWA, High C, Kid Frost, Cypress Hill, Ice-T, people who I grew up listening to these guys' music, and it was like a dream come true to be able to be in the midst of them. And I was just a dancer. I wasn't even a rapper yet. You know what I'm saying? And it was cool. We got to see the inner workings of the game. I'm also a SAG member. I've done 10 motion picture movies in this actual industry. One of the recent movies that I've done is called Grind. It's a skateboard movie. Adam Brody is one of the actors in it, and some other big actors. And it's a skateboard movie called Grind. Go check that out if y'all want to see a dope skateboard movie from a couple years back. Also, you can check me out in It's called The Fan with Wesley Snipes and Robert De Niro. It's a baseball movie. I
Yeah.
was actually a cop in the movie, and I was in the final scene where Wesley is facing off with Robert De Niro, who's supposed to be his nemesis, a knife salesman, and he's throwing a knife at Wesley Snipes, and I'm actually the cop on the left-hand side of Wesley Snipes that shoots down Robert De Niro when he throws this knife at Wesley Snipes, and I was actually a cop in the movie.
I am watching both of these this weekend because I had no idea that you have done
Yeah.
so much double XL.
And
Like
it's
that's
evident, like you can't miss me in the movie. Like The Grind, you're gonna see me all over that movie, and you're just gonna be scratching your head, like, oh my God. And then The Fan, I was younger in that movie. They
okay.
shaved all of this off, and I even had dreads that was down to here, but I
Uh-huh.
was a cop in the movie, so they pinned all of that up every day in the dressing room and made me look like an actual policeman. I was in a uniform and everything. But in that scene, Wesley Snipes is on the baseball field, and there's like a rain going on, and Robert De Niro's on the baseball mound about to pitch this knife at him, and he actually says in the scene, "Let me show you my best pitch." When he goes to pitch that knife, which is supposed to be a ball, but it's actually a knife because he's trying to kill Wesley Snipes, I'm the cop that's standing on the side of Wesley Snipes that shoots Robert De Niro down in that scene. And I shot actual blanks at Robert De Niro and his stunt double a numerous amount of times to even get the scene filmed. It was incredible.
Like that is insane.
Yeah.
So when did you meet Fleet in this journey?
You know, like I told you, as a rapper as well, too. Juggler Vein, that's my MC name, JugglaVein. Check me out on /Reverb Nation. Also, check me out on Number One Music. Just Google Juggler Vein. I got videos. I got all types of things going on. When I had been doing that, in the midst of that, just like the Fleet DJs, Classic, the CEO, had a original crew with his members. That's how our foundation began. We had a 5-member rap crew that eventually split up to go do what we needed to do, but we're also always come back together, either a couple of members or one of us or two of us or three of us, to do a record or to do a show, because we're still connected and we're still family and we all grew up together. At that time, I went to branch off into my own thing. I did a couple solo albums, and then DJing. I was really, really, really getting into my DJ bag. And I ended up going to college. And when I was going to college, out at the University of Iowa, I ended up transferring from UCLA to Iowa for a music and arts program, because I had people who lived in Iowa who said, hey, man, it's a really dope college town. And if you want to transfer somewhere, finish your last couple of years and really have some fun, come on out. So being them was like my best friends, I came out, and we started DJing clubs in the Midwest. And we was DJing crazy clubs in the Midwest, at Illinois, Michigan, Kansas, Chicago, all over the place. And I just became seasoned as a club DJ, which is where I honed my actual name, DJ XXL. And if nobody who has listened to it knows what it means is, when you got an XL shirt, you got the regular size shirt, right? But when you got the XXL shirt, you got the bigger version, right? Well, what that means is that I honed my name on XXL being larger than life. That's what it means. So it's just, it's larger than the average cat. It's double extra large. You dig? So yeah, and I just started rocking crazy clubs, and people was really rocking with me. And we would do radio shows. We was on University radio station every single Thursday and Friday night. That's where we would create the traffic for people to come to the club and hear us DJ, because we're actually on the University radio station. So all of the black folks, all of the white folks, all the urban folks, all come down to the University town, to this central from all over, to see whatever's going on there. It's like Iowa City is like the New York City of, you know what I'm saying, Iowa. So people from Chicago, people from Michigan, people from Kansas, they all come down, to see what's going on at times, and the same thing prospectively in their cities. But in Iowa City, we had all of those people who came down. Some of them would come all the way down to Michigan just to hear me DJ on a night. And we used to rock the club crazy. Then we started bringing celebrities to the scene. And we started bringing a celebrity come through and do their headliner spot at the end of the night, and us just hype it up and do DJ shit and maybe a little rapping the whole time. We bought Twista. I opened up for Run DMC when Jam Master Jay was alive.
What?
Yeah, George Clinton and the P Funk All Stars. Um, Oh man, I could go crazy. Like I could tell you some real ish. Like I didn't opened up for some of hip hop's greatest, and it was just in the humbug of us being the hip hop people in that community in that college town, and everybody who came through there ended up having to be messing with us because I was the dopest hip hop DJ. So when they get Goody Mob, when they get Wu Tang, when they get Asher Roth, when they get Juicy J, they call Double X to come through and set the tone. You did, even if I'm not performing. So yeah, I built a huge reputation. So in doing that, we had this thing called Unseen Legion Radio, which was a radio station / podcast that we started. We had been doing it for several years with the original members of the group that I had started, which was called Transparent Crew. Transparent Crew consists of me, Jugular Vein, my man Vegas Supreme, DJ Early, who's also a California Fleet DJ, who is my original DJ from my rap group, MC Pros, my man Vegas Supreme, and also Obscure. And these were the 5 counterparts of this group we call Transparent Crew. And our slogan is only those who seek it shall see it. So we were doing something that was underground where regardless of what people were looking at, if they was looking for real hip hop ish and they ran into Unseen Legion, they ran into Transparent Crew, they knew they was getting some real ish because our whole foundation was bred from that. Like we're really like hip hop cats. I grew up being a break dancer, a DJ, a graffiti artist, making my own hip hop clothes and fashions, going to the Goodwill and spray painting and airbrushing all of the joints on it and going out to the party and then rocking on the dance floor. So, you know, I'm a real grassroots type of cat in this hip hop thing. So I was rocking with this dude named DJ Threesome, rest in peace. He's from Los Angeles. And he was a hell of a DJ guy who used to rock with our Unseen Legion radio crew. We met and we really took a liking to each other. And he was a Fleet DJ. He said to me, man, you dope as hell. I want to introduce you to this crew I got called Fleet DJs. So at the time, he took a little video of me and threw me on a live. And then we had been doing some dope shows. And he was like, man, you know, all you need to do is send like a 15-minute like audio tape of what you do or whatever. And I sent one, the classic of me like doing a radio show, DJing and rap and freestyling on the same show and hosting. And like 4 or 5 months later, they gave me a call and accepted me to West Coast Fleet DJs.
Man.
At the time, no, this is crazy though. Check this out. So at the time I was living in California. I got on to the West Coast Fleet DJs. I started doing my thing, whatever. And you know, ish got crazy and I ended up moving back to the Midwest, you know, because I still do a lot of college shows and I still do a lot of university shows in the Midwest just because I went to school out there, you know, with that networking situation, made a lot of connections and a lot of impressions of people who continue want to bless me, you know, with a bag to come down there and rock, you dig?
Yeah.
So I continue to do that. So at the time I was going back out and moving to the Midwest, and they ended up taking me from the West Coast Fleet DJs because the Fleet DJs are worldwide. And I ended up being the manager of the Iowa Fleet DJs.
Okay.
So I built a team with the Iowa Fleet DJs. And then I had moved to Chicago. I ended up becoming a Chicago Fleet DJ, ended up becoming part of the crew, being cool with all the members, working in the community. Some of the greatest members who was there at the time who inspired me and kept me indoctrinated into the team when I came through had eventually moved on a couple of years later. So with me knowing the ground, I took over Chicago Fleet DJs and became the state manager. So at this time, like I said, I came from the West Coast, came to the Midwest, became the Iowa manager, built a team. Then I left from the Iowa Fleet and went over to Chicago, built a team there. Then I started building a team in Indiana and a couple of other states that are beyond there that are all close to Chicago. And then eventually I ended up moving back to Cali. So while I was in the Midwest, I helped build 2 or 3 different teams across the country for Fleet DJs.
Man. So what are you doing now within the Fleet DJs and outside of it?
Well, within the Fleet DJs, about say the 3rd or 4th year I was a part of the Fleet DJs, Classic and OS contacted me and told me that they wanted me to take over the National Conference Call division.
Okay.
So at that time, which is a long time ago, but at least 7 to 10 years, um, we was doing all our conference calls on telephones. And I had been listening to all the calls because I was very interested and eager to become a part of everything that was Fleet that I could take advantage of to become larger as a DJ, you know? So when they asked me to do that, I said, cool, because I had been listening to everything and I had been on all the big calls. And I took over the department. When I took over the department, I designed a particular protocol that was different than what I had been listening to on those calls when I came in, because there was a lot of ruckus. There was a lot of people cutting a lot of people off, people talking, their baby, bringing their baby mama on the call to talk to the celebrity. It was crazy. So what I did was I modernized the whole situation and made it to where we could have a little coolness before the artist came on, and then after that, everybody goes on mute, and I'm the only one who's speaking to the artist. I do a formal interview, and then after that, in the order that the people called in on the phone, I do a roll call and call DJs to be able to speak to the celebrity. And I did that for about, say, 7 to 10 years over the phone, being the only moderator for all of the calls, independent, industry, and all types of artists throughout those years. I've interviewed anybody and everybody. I was one of the last persons to interview Nipsey Hussle before he died, which is an
Oh,
honor.
that interview too.
Yeah, yeah, which is an honor. And then basically um we went to the video phase. When we went to the video phase, I pretty much in some way kind of redesigned the protocol, and then we just went on and started doing national video calls, and it's been over 10 years now, 13 years now that I've been doing and being the moderator, head of department, and bringing other people in, such as myself and other people such as yourself and other cats that are all good at interviewing and who were all able to help me balance the job that I had to do on my own for so long. And really, it's a great networking experience. You get to speak to celebrities, you get to be in touch with the industry, and you get to just really, really network across the board. And I feel proud because every time I hear somebody moderate a call, I know that's from the seed that I planted and the protocol that I created for the Fleet DJ conference calls. And outside of Fleet, I am an artist manager for 2 or 3 different artists. One of them is D-Boy Jackson out of Nebraska. And I have a couple of other artists that I manage that are actually doing music. And then besides that, I run my own DJ company. I got my own fashion line. I do a lot of like recording stuff with different artists. I do a lot of media stuff, and I'm also an actor. So I'm still a part of the Screen Actors Guild. I do commercials. I do voiceover. Yeah, there's nothing I don't do. I'm out there.
So how did the strike impact you, being that you play in both fields? Like when they
How
have
did
the
the
writer's
strike?
strike.
The writer strike.
Yeah.
I feel like with the influence of AI and what it could do, yeah, they could make some crazy creative like films or so on and so forth. But the whole industry is based off of real life experiences, people who are going through things, and an audience who is going to be able to relate to such through these interpretations that the actors portray. So I just feel like the way I felt was let's these writers get back to work. You know, it's a lot of great stories that haven't been told, and there's a lot of actors that, you know, haven't got a chance to do great films. So, you know, why cut that part out when so many people need work? And, you know, AI is AI. You know, whatever you think you could do to make your life better, you know, do that if you think you need to do it. But we've never needed to do that all these years. And the writers just wanted to get back to work. And I was glad for them too, because that makes work for me.
There you go. So, like, what are you working on right now? Like, are you currently recruiting different artists? Are you looking to continue to grow the Midwest? Like, how can you
I'm
connect?
growing the Midwest. I'm growing the West Coast, you know, on a DJ level, you know, working with different artists and producers. We have a radio tower that just got put up in the middle of Nebraska. My artist, D-Boy Jackson, just got the paperwork and contract to be able to have his own radio tower and be the first Black person in the state of Nebraska to ever own his own radio broadcasting tower. And that is called Translator TV. We're going to be rolling that out a little bit later this year. Is going to film a whole lot of TV shows as well as radio, which is hippie hop radio, and press play, which we currently have on the market and is in rotation right now.
Man, congratulations. Like, I have had the opportunity to sit up underneath you for some time being a part of Fleet, and I've watched you interview celebrities. I've watched you interview individuals that were just coming into the industry, and I've had the opportunity to be coached by you throughout my career as well to learn how to be able to be a better host and a journalist in a sense to tell the story. So I just wanted to take the opportunity right now to say thank you for all the seeds that you planted into me in my career.
For
Because there
sure.
are times that I was like, I can't miss this call because I want to hear how DJ Double XL is about to deliver this, so I know what I need to do on my end too. So
No doubt. I'll
kudos.
take that. I'll accept that. You know what I'm saying? Giving me flowers. I'm glad that people do because I do what I do for the love of the game. And that's the reason why I tried everything in hip hop just to find out where my place was. But I'm also a chameleon. I can do anything, and whatever I put my mind to and positive energy, I can accomplish. So I've been able to do that with hip hop, and it's truly has given me my voice and given me my place. And Fleet DJs has given me a family of supporting people who have the same vision on being able to expand and network across the globe, with everybody who's like us. And, we can help artists, we can produce, we can promote, we got models, we got a magazine, we got over 70 radio stations on our own internet radio network right now that are all digitally tracked. I mean, we're a one-stop shop. Yeah.
Whatever you need, whether you're an artist, a music professional, an entrepreneur, you have a business out here that's long standing, there's something that the Fleet DJ organization can provide to you in your business and your brand that's going to help you get more exposure, more engagement, and again, make more money. That's the ultimate goal.
This is
Um,
true.
Again, I appreciate you taking just some time out to come on this platform to make sure that people understood who you are behind the double the I'm on tongue
The
tied.
two X's. Yeah, I dig you. I dig you. I dig you.
Yes, like people need to know who we are, what we've accomplished in our personal journeys, and how all of this transpires and relates to what we're doing here in Fleet. You guys know that it's just Miss Wells. You can follow me on Instagram. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at it's
For
just
sure.
Miss Wells. And then also DJ Double XL. Tell these people one more time where they can follow you and find you at so they can keep up with your movement.
No doubt. You can find me at underscore DJ XXL, all lowercase. Also, you can find me on number one music / Juggler Vein, JUGGLAVEIN. Also, you can find me on Reverb Nation / Juggler Vein. Just Google Juggler Vein. You can also find me on unseenlegionradio.com, which lets you know just a little bit more about who I am in radio and just some other things that we put together. That was one of our original websites. So tap in with me. I'm out there. I'm doing it. If you need some help on the music tip, send me an MP3, send me a link, send me a video. Let me see what you're working with. You never know what I might be able to do. The Fleet DJs, we help everybody out who's willing to invest in themselves. Let's get it done.
There you go. So until episode 11, folks, we're out of here.
Yeah.